music as well. Just doing my research.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Like you said.
It's only right.
So that mic is yours if you want to just kind of pull that guy in a little bit. I'm going to put
Sometimes
this.
I have a minor there. Okay, yeah, you should be good at.
You don't got the
I think I do.
lap,
I have
mic, the
I have
mysterious
the
lap
one,
mic.
and it's kind of. We're breaching a point here, but hopefully,
Go right there.
if I maybe as
That
long
one
as I
falls all
like
the
don't
time.
breathe the wrong way, it will stay this way.
No, we used to have a mic stand that like during the show would just slowly just creep into people's laps, and then you'd have to lift it back up, and then it would just continuously
actually
just
a
drop down.
problem.
So I'd call it like the lap or the crotch mic.
A YouTube show that the dude's chair kept going down.
Oh, really? That's
I think
funny.
it was Cody Ko.
Cody Ko.
Yeah, his chair kept falling.
That's pretty funny. See, the best comedy makes itself.
Sorry, I'm gonna turn you up just a little bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't just fall. It would
Just slowly
slow drop.
creep down.
That would drive me nuts too, because then I'd do like the, and then you pop back up, and then you like.
For me, I wouldn't notice because like my feet would just be touching the ground, so I'd think it was normal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that picture was hilarious, by the way, or that video.
Thanks.
The moments in the life of Kayla.
I was getting blood work done this morning,
What if they
and
touch
like
the ground?
the chair that I was sitting in, like literally, I mean, my feet aren't completely touching the floor here, but they're closer. But the chair that I was sitting in, like, my feet were so far from the ground, like, toddler vibes, you know? So it made me start questioning. I was like, is this, like, who configured the height for this? Like, is this, like, who decided that this was an appropriate height? Or is it that I am not? Like, I don't know.
You were just not.
So I sent our group chat, like, a little
target.
video, and I was, like, asking for a friend, what's it like to sit down and have your feet touch the floor? Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
I'm actually kind of used to it, not for nothing. Like, but that was a big gap.
We won't hold it against you.
Thank you.
Ever.
I appreciate it.
At least for today.
It's okay. I like being short. I honestly like being this height, and then I forget that like people that are taller. Sometimes I think I'm like, wow, I wonder like what your POV is, because like anything that's not in my direct eye line like doesn't exist, and I know that like caps
So like
off.
stuff above
Yeah,
you.
so it's like I don't even like register that as existing. So yeah, it must be interesting up there.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
How's the air up there? How's the air
Oh
up
no,
there?
I'm doing that thing. I'm
There-
sorry.
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh,
for
okay.
once, you didn't ASMR me into the mic
Sorry, I
this
was
time.
like, oh no, I'm being that person.
Yeah, right.
That's okay. I'll let life be that person.
Right. How's everybody doing? It's been
a while since I've been here.
on an official pod, so welcome
I
back
know.
to the
Thank you.
actual
I'm happy to be
Yes.
here.
streaming episode.
Thanks. Happy to be back. It feels good. I've missed you guys.
Likewise,
Yeah.
missed you.
Welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
Happy to be here.
How's everything with you?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Just visiting the
good.
girl a little bit, spending some time.
Yeah, the kids and all that.
Word. I know. I want to get into that too. We'll get into that. But I wanted to just check in with everybody first, see how everybody was doing. Do you want to just kind of just share a little bit for those that may not know who you are? Just like a little bit about yourself, not to be like, like Life said, like, what do you do? But
Literally the first thing question that was in my mind. I was like, but wait, I want to know.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Haiden LeBlanc. I'm from South Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a rapper.
Okay. So that's a true. So now, okay. So that's a true. Is that a troop for you? Like South Boston to Manch. Dang.
Oh, yeah, it's brutal.
Oof.
Oh,
Especially when there's traffic. That's why I try to catch it when there's no traffic.
Fair.
Yeah, I was
fair.
going to say, depending on the time of day.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
imagine.
I've figured out the times that are good.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure you
tough.
have.
Yeah.
You figure it out quick when you don't want
Yeah.
to sit in that frickin' traffic. I get it.
That's tough. I think my furthest girlfriend was Salem from here. Was probably Salem.
Mass or New Hampshire?
Mass
Oh, okay.
was probably the furthest. The only
That's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The only other one, but it was only on the weekends. It was a girl that I was dating in college. Obviously, like when you're out of season or whatever, like she would go home. She lived in Rhode Island, so that was like
Oh, okay.
maybe the only furthest. Like But if she was back in the dorms, then obviously it's like 5 minutes.
For me, I don't know.
That's tough, man.
My oldest daughter's mother lives in Stratford, New Hampshire, which is like another hour past me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty.
Dang.
That one was
Okay.
Dang, that's tough. Hold on. Fix this.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds familiar. I think a couple of my nieces and one of my nephews like live in that New Hampshire area. I heard it's really nice though.
It's nice. It's beautiful. I don't really like it. I grew up in Southie in the city, and there's something going on at all hours of the night. It's quiet up there for me.
Yeah, that's why like.
And the people are too nice, almost like.
You're like, what is wrong with you?
Standing in line at the store, like waiting to get gas or whatever, and like some random person's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Like,
right, like I don't want to talk.
I really don't.
Right, like oh my god, I hate it. I totally get that. Oh my god,
it's like I don't know you. I have no. Like I just want to get my gas, yo.
Right, like and then there's. In those moments, because I'll be like, don't want to talk. Like, there's nothing about my aura that's like, hey, please openly interact with me. I know I have RBF, and I use that to my advantage. But then, some people, they're just like, can't sit in silence, so what's up? And then you're like, oh my god. And then I'll be like, I don't want to be I don't want to be completely rude, but at the same time, like, what about me says I want to talk right now?
For real.
For real. Yeah, I get it. I mean, places like that, I'm like, okay, I like vacation where it's like, it's a cute little getaway. Like, let's relax. Everything's so quiet. But like living, I would go nuts because
Yeah, because you're usually like, you have a set agenda, and like the conversation is not part of that agenda. And it's like not to be mean, but it's just like I have stuff to do. Like,
honey, I've been in customer service so long, so it's just like the useless, like. It's a gift and a curse being good at small talk because it's like how fast I go into customer service mode is actually disgusting. It's like quite frightening, but so it's like I don't really want to do that. Like when the conversations I actually want to have are not surface at all. Yeah, you know what I mean? For real. No, like that. So agree. Like because I like to talk to people, but at the same time it's. In light situations, no, like please don't,
because it always ends the same. It's basically the same conversation every single time. Oh, hey, how are you? Good. Oh, how are you? Good. And that's it.
You know what I do?
How is this? Okay.
Doing? When people ask me how are you, I just say terrible.
It changes.
You just say, "Oh, I'm good." Terrible. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "How are you?" They're like, "Good." I'm like, "Yeah." Maybe don't ask again.
It makes it like not awkward or maybe like awkward or uncomfortable to the point like in your advantage of like now they're gonna be like, "Oh,
terrible.
okay."
They're not gonna ask why.
They're not.
Because nobody can. Well, because it's almost
especially
like
if they don't know me that well.
It's just a nicety. It's just like a filler. No, like the how are you? It's almost just like what up. Like. Nobody wants the.
But it's like, do you care though? Like,
exactly.
Like, what is the?
Do you really care how I'm doing?
Right.
And I know they don't, so I'm just like, terrible. Are you going to infer further? No.
Yeah, because you'll say good, and then they'll never think of you.
They also won't ask again. Like, oh, why is it good?
Yeah.
They don't care.
I mean, like I'll like acknowledge people, but like there's some people that just keep going and going and going.
Right.
Like, I'll just nod my way through. I'm like,
yeah. Like my boys or whatever. Like I know they really like care.
Yeah.
Right. It's genuine. It's genuine.
Like, I'll talk to them.
Well, because it's gonna be more than just like your surface pleasantries, because you're gonna actually like get into it. Like, know what's been going on in your life. Tell me about this. So it's
and
like
it might be a hot take, but like I'm 25 now, which is still pretty young. But like, I feel like I have all my friends. Like I'm open to making
I love that hot take.
My cookout crew is set.
That's fair.
I might invite new people here and there, but like the crew, the OG crew, like
that's it. That's
pretty cemented. We've been together since elementary school.
I totally get that because I myself, I felt like I'm friended up, and I've been friended up for some time, and it's cool because obviously, like you said, new connections like will come into the mix, and that's always that's
somewhat
cool.
Of a friendship or like acquaintances and stuff like that.
But like.
Yeah.
No, I totally. Yeah, you got your
I'm
core.
I'm not looking for a new best friend right now.
Yeah, you got
definitely
your core.
Always
peeps.
open to meeting new people and getting out and being social. Of course, that's part of life that I love. But
it's part of the biz too.
Like when it comes to like my best friends, like I'm not really open for applications.
Right, you're like
people to kick it with and chill with on the sometimes. But
But it's like if you can pull it from elementary school, like yeah, that's meant to like be cemented. Like
well, I got my OG. We call us the OG squad. It's my parents, my mom, and my dad. They had this group of friends since they were in elementary school in Southie. They grew up. They all had kids around the same time. So now we call each other cousins. Like we're all best friends.
Okay.
We have a group chat. Like so. Like there's this. One of them, their brothers. Like there's 4 of them. 2 of them are already like godfathers of 2 of my children.
I love.
Like I already told them. Like one of them. Like it was all funny. Like because like I asked Nick. Chris was the first one because we're the closest in age, and then I asked Nick. And then when I asked Nick to be the godfather of my son, who was just born. Matt, the other brother, came out. He's like, "Oh, what did I ever do to you?" Like, I'm like, "Bro, there's 4 of you. Like, I gotta,
right?
Like, give me some more time. Right? Like, give me time.
Yeah,
takes 9 months.
Yeah, right.
I gotta pick an order, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's like the best man mentality type of thing. Like, yo, like what the heck? Like, I thought I was, you know, and then now you got all your best friends battling. You know
what's so funny? The last thing I ever want to be, and this is of no offense to anybody, because obviously, like, the women in my life, I love you very dearly. You know you have me. Whatever you need from me, I'll do. There is nothing in me that would ever want to be a maid of honor, because the amount of responsibility financially, emotionally, and mentally, that's a full-time job. And it's like, if you loved me and respected me, you would not ask me to do that for you. Bridesmaid all day.
Yeah.
I got you. Tell me what dress you freaking want me in. We'll do the whole 9. But like maid of honor stuff like that.
Best man is a cakewalk.
Is it?
It's just fun stuff. You just plan all the fun stuff.
Oh my! Well, you know how women get about these things.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's different. Exactly. Yeah, best man.
You know the wife is gonna pick out the tux color and all that. So that's all taken care of. Like all the colors are gonna be picked out for you. You just gotta plan like a bachelor party. Like when you're gonna go. Like for us, it's probably a golf trip where we're gonna go golfing for a weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
Fair. That's
or like
dope.
maybe like. No, it's probably going to be golfing. I'm not going to lie. But like,
fair.
Hey, that's pretty
we
sweet.
get to go golfing. We get to just like show up and party. Like the best man is just.
And then you got us women on the other side that are all sweating it out.
Yeah.
Like
definitely harder for women. I feel. Or not more harder, but like more work and pressure.
the priorities and the responsibilities
Stressful.
are just different. Like
I feel like men are just there. I'm definitely going to just be there for the party. I mean, no, the wedding.
Whatever you want.
No, I get what you mean.
The planning side of it, I'm just showing up.
Yeah,
I get what
whatever
you mean.
you want, honey. It's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yep, looks
Whatever makes you
beautiful.
happy.
Yeah.
You don't look fat. You look gorgeous. Yeah.
I'm just not like I mean I have like a taste, but I'm not like super like no it needs to be this. So if like if it's like remotely in my area of like that's cool, I'll go for it. You don't need to show me 25 samples of something. Like sample A, perfect. Looks good.
See,
Let's
I
roll.
totally am not about all like the fluff and buff of that. So like when I do get married, you already know it's going to be like simplistic, minimal. Like my niece just had a wedding and I think there was like over 200 something guests, and I couldn't even imagine trying to like orchestrate that. No knock to her. I have total respect, and shout out to my brother and my sister-in-law and also like my niece's step-parents that were involved in the planning and helping with it. But it's like, I could never even dream of that.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I find everyday life stressful enough. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just too much for me. But, like, I could not even imagine knowingly putting myself in a situation to be, like, just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
For however amount of time. I just can't.
Yeah.
I get, like, 35 people at my kids' birthday parties, and that's a lot.
No,
perfect. Rightfully
Cap
so.
it at 30.
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Because then,
so.
That's enough for like if someone wants to bring a +1 or so and so, whatever.
Yeah.
Friends of the family too. Great number. Wow. Beautiful.
That's the problem. I just have such a big family.
Mm.
Because my grandmother and my grandfather from my mom's side, they each have like 5 or 6 brothers and sisters, and all of them have like 5 or 6 kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they all have like a bunch of kids, and then that's my
fun for
generation. So we're
holidays.
huge. Oh yeah. But the thing is, I have like 2nd and 3rd cousins that I'm closer with than some people are with their first cousins.
Mm. Yeah.
No, I
so
get
it's
that.
crazy because my family's huge but close.
I get that
we all
because
know each. So like,
That's
I'm
good,
never
though.
gonna be famous and have people like, "Yo, I'm your cousin." I'm like, nope, I know all.
Yeah, I know every single one.
Sorry,
You'll be like, nah,
Right
that's,
down the line.
That's not working with me. All right, well, that's off the table, everybody.
That was the tough the tough part that Ashley and I had, my wife Ashley, when it came to
My wife.
doing like the wedding part, where we were trying to do like a reception here, because we had done one in Texas with that side of the family, because a lot of my family spread out. It was like we wanted to invite just immediate family because her family is so big, and we were like, no, we want like
Even just immediate family. So
like my mother-in-law, you know, obviously her husband, like her brothers, you know, maybe some closer uncles, like that's it. And then like people were coming out the woodwork, like her mom was like, you need to invite this person and this person and this person.
Oh my
We're
God.
like,
And meanwhile, you haven't seen him since
No.
like 7 years
yeah.
old.
They're like, yo, you
that
need your
one
cousin
random
you need your
Tuesday.
cousin from Puerto Rico to come. Like,
It's like, no one's getting airfare for this.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
no.
And we were like, no, like we don't, one, we gotta pay for the food.
Yeah.
So like we're not paying for all of these people to
Oh
come.
my God, the food.
Yeah.
Alone.
Right, like if you could
is-
get a couple pizzas, that'd be one thing, but you got to pay per piece.
Did you know that it's like it can be upwards of like $50 to $75 per plate? Maybe
What
I
the
sound
fuck?
super ignorant. Oh, okay, we're in the same boat then because
Oh, no,
I
100%.
didn't know that, dude. I did not know that.
I have a family full of women, so I know
Oh,
that.
you know the
I know a lot.
thing.
Yeah.
I
You
know, a
know
lot
that. Good
about
for you.
women.
I went
You're gonna be
to
a great husband.
I went to Gillette, and they for an event, and they have, you know, they do like plates and stuff, and our entry is like $40 because we get a discount. Each plate is like $90.
For what?
Each
sorry.
plate $90, but it's like
What
salmon,
are you getting?
salmon, like
Okay.
steak, like it's
Okay.
really good food.
okay, I'm
broccoli,
sorry. I'm
like-
sorry. All right,
Yeah.
seafood's involved. All right.
Like the food is fire. Like
Okay.
I will give him that. It's fire.
Okay,
but it's
I
like,
would do
dude,
that.
if I had to pay the full 90, I'm like,
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I got salmon money.
yeah. But
like-
I get paid for it, so it's like, meh.
That's actually pretty simple.
So it's, you know,
It all
but,
comes out in the wash.
but yeah, we were like, no, like we can't have all these people because we got to pay for the food. And then eventually we were like, you know what? Screw it. We're not having a.
jealous, though.
We didn't have the reception. We canceled it because y'all are making it
That's
way.
something I would do.
Yeah, y'all are making it way too complicated.
And like
Yeah.
making it way too much about you.
I was
Exactly.
right, and right. You're forgetting
Exactly.
what the focus is
Yeah.
supposed to be. Like the day is supposed to be about celebrating your union, and then all these people are like, "Oh well, you know, you
what
gotta
do I
do
get?
this tradition, and
Yeah.
you gotta invite this person," and it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot that your name was like you know,
yeah.
on this.
Yeah,
like,
your
what is
name's on the
happening?
flyer. Yeah, yeah.
Like what's happening here?"
Yeah, because we did the justice of the peace first, and then obviously like it was just like her mom, her dad, her brother, two of her brothers, her brother's girlfriend at the time, and then my best man, and that was it. Like that's all we had. So we were like, let's have a reception, you know, get everybody come together, whatever. Because like I said, we did one in Texas, and we wanted to do one over here, and we're like, no, forget it. Like, all
Like you
set.
know what? Never mind.
Not wasting time. Canceled the venue. Like we lost our money on the venue. We were like, forget it. Like I don't. $300 gone. I was like, I don't.
That's
It's not
really
worth the
something I
headache.
would do.
It's not
I would
worth the
definitely
headache.
do that.
No, it was not worth
Oh,
the headache.
same.
so.
It's like if you guys want to make this no, that is not what it's about. All set. Like let's grab a few people and go out to dinner. Like, like
yeah,
totally.
for sure,
I would be so fine with that. Of just like a chill, like not a
'Cause,
lot
like, why
of.
spend like 60,000 plus for like one day?
That to
You know what
me
I mean?
is crazy. When you could be like, think about what
That
else
too.
you could be purchasing with that. You could put more than a down payment on
On
a
a-
home with that.
Yeah.
Like when,
Like, you could have the
how can
ceremony
you
and then-
justify spending that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me
That's
and my
just how
girl,
my
we
brain
have
works.
like, we know we want not a huge wedding, like a nice wedding, but
Of
not
course.
huge.
Yeah.
But in terms of like that, we want to spend most of the money on the honeymoon.
You're smart,
That's fair.
and I know
Save on the
pe-
wedding to just
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's.
Like
I
a
would
2-week honeymoon. Would be sick.
right. It's
Yeah,
more about
see, that's
making
worth
the
it.
memories together
Yeah.
and enjoying like the
Yeah.
beginning of the new journey. I would totally same boat. I would do the
Celebrate
same
it.
thing.
You know, celebrate it together. That's the point.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, and at that point, like go wherever you want, like travel wherever or a couple different places
Hawaii.
if you got
There you
2
go.
weeks.
And enjoy it too. Like, because
Oh my
sometimes they're
God.
like, "Oh, we're going on a honeymoon. How long you going? 3 days."
That's not a
What are you-
honeymoon,
you know,
dude.
what are
That's
you
a
in-
long weekend.
Yeah, like what are you enjoying? You know, so it's like if you're able to kind of take the time out and just enjoy it,
Hell yeah.
like, do it. So, congrats on the new child, on the
Yes,
son, first son, right?
congratulations.
First son.
First son, saw
Oh,
that,
you
peeped
must be
that.
so happy.
Congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
How's fatherhood been as far as, that and just,
Well, how many children?
making music?
Three
Okay.
total.
3?
I don't know. A lot of people, because I had my first daughter when I was 18. She was born when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
Conceived when I was 17. Because of that, a lot of people will come to me for like advice when they start having kids or stuff like that, and I'm honestly tell them all like I'm the wrong guy to come to, because fatherhood has been fairly easy for me, but I think a big part of that is because I love it. But like just a lot of the things. I have a million problems in my life, but none of them involve my children. I just always like to put it like that because at the end of the day, I love spending time with them, and when they're crying at 2 a.m., I'm like, whatever, we'll chill, have a bottle.
Yeah.
So like, it's been a blast for me. I genuinely love fatherhood, and
That's so nice to hear.
I just don't have those challenges of like, I haven't always had the most money, but I don't think that's my kid's fault. That's
Yeah.
I'm sure you figure it out.
and I have, and I've always.
I'm sure you just
that's,
figure it. Yeah.
That's something I got from my mom and my dad. It's just like, no matter what, I'll always figure it out. And there's been days where like, I got rent due tomorrow, and I got like $500 in my account. But best believe I paid that rent tomorrow. I don't know how I do it. But I'm gonna do it.
I feel that. Yeah.
Whatever
I
I,
get
got to
that.
do, because I'm not afraid to work.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Even if I got a job or whatever, like I'll do more work, just to because I'm a make it happen type of person. So
Yeah.
yeah, fatherhood's been a blast in general.
Word.
I love
That's
it.
so refreshing to hear. That's very nice.
It's
to hear.
important though, and I think kind of similar to what you said of just the upbringing piece of it is like growing up, it was just me and my mom, single mom. Like we were fine. Like there was nothing that we had to like struggle with, but it wasn't like I had the latest and greatest or like the latest system or
Yeah.
whatever.
I was always a system behind.
same.
When the PS3 came out, I got the PS2 finally.
Yep. Exactly. So it was like,
I prefer it that way on stuff like that. Phones,
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
I can't be
Phones
bothered.
especially, yeah.
but it just taught me like one, you didn't need that, and there were more important things than just the things your parents could buy, like
Oh,
spending time with them,
Yeah.
or like taking me to a soccer game, being there at the soccer game or my basketball games or whatever. Like in one of my songs, like I say, like she missed like maybe 2-3 sporting events like my entire career from like 9 years old through college, and those were because they were like out of state.
Right.
Like, and I'm saying out of state, like North Carolina out of state. Like we would have track meets in like Rhode Island. She'd show up, stuff like that. Connecticut, show up. Like she put in the effort, and that matters to me more than, you bought me the latest PlayStation 4. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's cool, but like and I recognize it now too. Like the value was way more in the time that you put in to just show up.
Yes, you know what? I agree with that, because when I think about it, like all the shows that I've been in since I was a little kid, like being on stage and looking out and seeing, I think even just thinking about it, I could cry. Like that feeling of like, oh, they're here. Oh my God, that's my mom. Like I literally still get like that as an adult. Like if I'm on stage and I look out and I see my parents, it's like,
Yeah, me
it's
too.
just like this comfort feeling of like, oh my God, my people.
And my dad started DJing when he was like 15, like a club DJ.
That's so cool.
So I've had him DJ my sets before.
That's cool.
Oh, I love what
It's
a
That's a bonus.
great-
So
That's a
cool.
moment.
So I
I love that.
It's all, and that on that same vein is a big part of like what it means being a father, is like knowing what my parents meant to me, or still mean to me, I should say. I know that I'm that to my kids.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Knowing that I'm that to my kids, when they fall and scrape their knee, they run to me. When they
Word.
have a bad dream, they're looking for me for comfort. Or when they just have a long day at school,
You're good.
looking at me for comfort. And
Yeah.
that's powerful.
Oh,
That's
for
a
sure.
powerful
100%.
thing to, like,
Yeah.
know that they know I got them. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way
That's
more
a beautiful
important.
way to
Yeah.
put that.
Because then you just have it's a better relationship in the fact of like, as they get older, and obviously we all know older situations that pop up across the scale, and that, you can kind of trust that they'll, come to you with those, hey, I have this issue, being 13 years old. I have this issue when I'm, 15. You're like, I don't even want to think that far.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it starts now, and
Right. It starts. It's now because you're laying the foundation of it. Like, I'm sure, and maybe my dad hates this. I will talk to my dad about that man. He's probably sometimes like, Kayla, I don't even want to hear or know these things. Not like I don't get raunchy with my dad, but like just life stuff. Like, because I'm so comfortable with him because of the relationship that we've always had. Like, I've always felt like I never needed to mask with my dad. I could literally just be exactly who I am. With my mom, I feel like I need to be like, I'm still me, but like just
I'm the complete opposite.
different version of it. So I think that's if you obviously have a daughter, right?
2.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think that's great that like your girls, we'll do that with you.
Yeah, I love them.
It's like it does work like that too. It's always like the opposite. Like, daddy's little girl, or like you're a mommy's boy. Yeah,
I'm a total mama's boy. I say it all the time. I'm such a mama's boy.
Hey, there are worse things to be. That's a great
true.
thing to be.
Yeah.
No, I remember one of my track meets. It was a home meet. It was a meet that I actually won, and as I was like crossing the finish line, like my mom is there, and she's like, "Oh, Dad," like screaming, like, "Go, go, go!" And then like I finished the race, whatever. We cooled down. My buddy, one of my teammates who was in the race with me, was like, "Oh, good job, whatever," And then like I ended up winning too because he fell. Like last turn, like hits a hurdle. So I was running hurdles, hits the hurdle, whatever. And he was like, "Oh yeah, like, you won because I fell, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, haha, like your mom was up there screaming. And like in my head, I was like, yo, at least my mom showed up. Like at least my mom is here.
I think that's so sweet.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, why are you mad that my mom is supporting me?
Probably because he doesn't have that.
So it's like, dude, like I won twice in this. So like, relax, like settle down,
Yeah. My mom's a total hockey mom because my older sister and like my aunt Michaela, she's my aunt, she's adopted, but we grew up when we're raised like siblings with me, my sister Sabrina, and then her. So I consider her my sister, but she played hockey too. And like, my mom would like, when we had out of state tournaments and all that stuff, like my mom, you could hear her. But it's not that. She like, let's go. It's shoot the puck. I know.
That's awesome.
But like she's a Irish girl from Southie.
I already know. I would love your mom.
She's like she
That's
already
awesome.
does fit that like stereotypical like Irish mom from Southie. Like
that's awesome.
It's funny, but I love it. But
it's awesome.
I bet your mom is a blast.
She is a blast. I love to hang out.
Already know. I'm like, that's my kind of lady.
Yeah. There genuinely been nights where I like chose hanging out with my mom and her friends over my friends. Like,
I bet they're a freaking blast.
Because like, I don't know, like, I started doing a lot of things young, like too young. Like I started with the weed when I was like 11, which was awful, and my parents hated that.
I get it. I was 12.
And then the drinking, I didn't start until I was like 13 or 14, but they hated it. And then, but by the time I'm like 16, 17 years old, they kind of
that stuff was old news
because I was like not gonna stop clearly. But so by the time I'm like 16, 17, I could have a beer with my parents and it's just chill. I wouldn't get obliterated with my parents, but
obviously not.
With my mom, like listening to New Kids on the Block.
That's
anything. We just went to their concert when they were in Mansfield.
Oh, right, that's
Don't
cool.
talk to me about it. Are you joking?
It was a blast. It was.
My god! Oh my god! Stop.
My cousin was a huge fan.
I know she's not old, but like with how old Paula Abdul is.
Oh my god, that woman's amazing.
The way she can move still is wild.
Hey, use it or lose it. I believe.
She's in like her 50s or 60s.
Gotta be fast.
Like she's not elderly.
I think she's
on the older side.
I think she's late 50s.
Yeah, like she's not elderly, but she's on the older side.
I might be lying.
Like that is wild. She's been out a while. She could.
No, because she came out in like the mid 80s. I'm forever your girl. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with that experience for you.
wow, she has the same birthday as my mom. That's cool.
Wait, then
random sidebar.
Then they have the same birthday as my dad. That's right. Because every year my dad's like Paula Abdul, and I have the same birthday. That's right.
June 19th. That's 19. What's 1960?
Oh my god! So she's
like 80. Wait.
That's
No,
it.
she's like
No.
60. I did the
62,
in her
62,
60s.
sorry, it's
60, I
right
did
there.
the math
62.
She's in her, yeah.
I did it too.
Okay,
close.
because I was like, I know. Well, yeah, that lady. I bet she puts on a great freaking show. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
and not for nothing, the New Kids. I saw the New Kids in
Oh, I love-
2008, and that was a very long time. Oh my god, I'm dating myself.
I love the New Kids.
But I know for sure they can still probably do the same
It's
exact.
not even
oh
funny.
my god! Oh,
not
they.
even funny, y'all.
The
It's so
live
good.
show is so
They
good.
realize- and that's what I try to do with my music too. Is like what Paula Abdul or the New Kids would do. I'm trying to put on a show. I don't want like it. You could sit at home and listen to me sing my songs.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to put on a show, an experience that's gonna
Yeah.
be something more than listening to my song at home.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is something. It's funny because when I know you wanted to know this, I started making music when I was 14 years old.
Cool.
And by the time I was 15, I had done my first show with this kid Nixon called I don't think he makes music anymore, but that was sold out at downstairs at the Middle East. So there was like 700
Oh,
or 600
cool.
people
That was your
there.
first show?
My first show. I sold.
for you,
bro.
They gave me 40 tickets to sell. I sold every one of them. So I had a lot of people pop out, and then the promoter was there that night. Was doing a show the next week, and was like, "Yo, I'm doing this show next week. Will you do that too?" And so from there, that's how I started doing shows. But from the very beginning, I never ever used backing tracks. I always made a live version of my tracks so that there was no words. And then,
Thank you. No, I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
once
saying
I
like,
got
thank
it-
you.
Did your
Yes.
dad tell you to do that, or did
Yeah.
you just? Okay.
Yeah, my
Good
dad.
man. Good man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Props to dad.
That
Shout
is-
out to
But,
dad.
so from the earliest performances I ever did, I rapped my words live.
That's what I did too.
And then I kind of got into this new circle where like it's pretty common practice to use people to just use their words and sing their songs regularly.
Thank God.
And so like I'm glad that it's like that a little bit because it makes me stand out more. But
That's
like
fair.
I don't know, it's the performance that I love because it's just so much fun, and especially when you hear people singing back words that you wrote.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing ever.
And you get to like curate this. If you think about it, it's like it's a lot of responsibility, but in a cool way.
Yeah.
Because like you're curating this experience for a room full of people, whether that's 700 or sometimes it's 50,
15.
but it doesn't matter.
it doesn't.
Because either way, it's like you are sailing the ship, right? So like you get to control everything, the ups, the downs. It's like. So you like, and so then when you get like the reaction, you feel the energy from people. It's like
I think that
nothing like it.
Go ahead.
Like as someone, I've done a lot of showcases, so like, and you kind of do like I'm not even trying to be cocky like that, but like you do feel it, the energy in the room shift when you get 3 acts on there that are just, like I said, they got their background vocals on and they're just singing the words along.
Well, because it's karaoke.
It's karaoke at that point, yeah. And then I get on stage and there's no background tracks. I actually have. I don't dance, but I have certain choreography that goes with my
Oh,
song.
sure.
For sure.
I definitely wouldn't consider it dancing, but like certain moves.
Your
like,
little,
Yeah.
or like wipe the nose at this part and flick it, like any random things. And I really want to have a show, and you feel the energy shift in the room because people are like, oh, this is real. This
Yeah,
is
right.
Yeah.
This isn't a karaoke night at a bar anymore. This is a concert.
Yeah.
Right.
It's what
yeah.
turns it from
It's different.
that to a concert, and that's yeah.
That-
It's a real Motley Crue vibe. That's
Yeah.
what they because
That's
I
cool.
love Motley Crue. But back in the day, that's what their vibe was let's bring the stadium shows into the clubs,
Yeah.
and that's the kind of the vibe I'm on.
I like that mentality of like let's bring it to people because not everyone has like there are some barriers for some people to
Yeah.
get to shows like that.
Yeah.
So it's like cool for you to be able to like have that, you're curating that for your audience and for your fans. Yeah, that sounds like so much fun.
It's a blast.
Well, it's important. That's why they're all separate. That's why you have like streaming music is where it is, and live music is where it is. They're two separate performances, and they
True.
need to be.
Exactly.
Otherwise, like you said, like I can just go listen to you in my car, like
Right.
and be cool. Like if you're just gonna stand up there and not really do anything and not engage with me, I'll just go listen to you in my car, and I'll probably get the same experience. Versus,
It's funny because like I will never forget the first time I saw you perform live because of like just obviously like having the closeness that we have and like being homies, and then who you are on stage is
It's a different
like,
personality.
so
completely.
different, and I don't mean
Yeah.
that in a bad way. It's
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's like
Oh,
not,
I know it.
not like your character, like your persona, like your stage persona is so different. And I'll never forget the first time I saw you perform at what was the place called? Now it's something different.
I don't even think it's there anymore.
It's not. It is something different now. Oh shoot, what were
Place
they
on
calling it
Lowell
at
right
that
downtown.
time? Because Chi
Art.
owned it with
Yeah. Downtown.
whatever,
Lowell.
neither here nor there. But like, yeah, you killed it. But I just remember being like, wow,
It's different.
you are
And
like,
I
so
like it.
different live.
I like it because it like even when I'm not on stage and this is kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, like the small talk and stuff. Like sometimes it, not that it's tough for me, but like if before I perform, like I'm usually like just like I'm
Before a
mentally
performance,
preparing.
don't
You know what I
even
mean?
acknowledge my existence on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like before a performance, and like I make that like very clear of like, hey,
yeah.
this is my process. Like, don't even like breathe my way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
please
yeah.
don't like, or don't take it personally.
Yeah, that
if
too.
I am not like connecting with, like, I can't do that. It's almost
Mm.
like you're like saving up every ounce of what you have to like unleash it on stage.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I actually headline. I have my manager get everybody out of my dressing room before.
There you
like
go.
5 to 10 minutes before I go on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
you're
you gotta
so
be
right.
right.
And chill.
I'm
Yeah.
like
Don't
a
have that
diva. Then
luxury,
I
I
need
don't
like
have
20 to
but-
30. I need a good 20 to 30
Yeah.
to like get in.
Like he's like, I mean, we've said this before, but like he's seen me, like I'll be like sitting like crouched in a corner, just like focused or whatever, like kind of just centering myself like right before I'm about to go on. And just
Do you
like,
go mute before a show? Because you're incredible live too. Because your energy is so like,
Yeah, I mean,
it takes over the room.
I used to like leading up to my performance, and then like afterward, I'd be like, you know, just talking to everybody, you know, drinking, chilling. But like now, like a little bit, but like
Yeah,
not,
just
not
kinda
as
get,
much.
like, centered, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've performed so much that like
It muscle memory.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
yeah,
that too.
I also get that.
But
you guys
after-
together are
yeah,
great, so we should probably get that going again.
yeah. But after, yeah, I'm more, I would say more talkative. Not,
Oh well, yeah, because then it's like you can be you again.
I could breathe.
You're
You know,
like,
you could
"Whew,
kind of
okay."
breathe a little bit.
it's
and-
done, it's out the way. You feel good
Right.
because you know the crowd reacted to you know your stuff positively. So
If
it's like,
anything,
I
you're
feel
like
it's a good
riding
feeling.
a high. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and they
A little
have
bit of
the
the adrenaline
post show
going still.
high. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, you could run a marathon sometimes. You know,
Literally.
Yeah.
depending on
I forget
what
where
the
I was
show.
going with it, but that's like, yeah, that's where my head goes. It's like, all right, focus, cool. All right, show's over. All right, now I can
Yeah.
kind of socialize with people.
And like I'm pretty soft spoken, so I mean people tell me, hey, like you're soft spoken, but like once you get on stage, I just explode.
Oh,
You're
I
different
remember
too,
when
I
was
know.
doing it.
It's the adrenaline, like you said.
Yeah, because I'm so quiet, and then people see me live on stage. Like I like the difference
You
that has, because it
literally
kind of
don't
like tricks
talk
people.
unless
They're
there's a
like,
mic.
oh, he's probably gonna, like, you know, they see me pop on stage, and then they're like, oh, he's probably gonna, you know, be laid back or whatever, and then it's like a different feeling because we're trying to put that performance on, like you said, and it's like it's just fun to kind of surprise people a little bit too. Like, oh, he's like jumping around, he's spinning,
Yeah,
he's, you know,
you're very high
engaging
energy.
people.
It's great.
Like that's what performances should be like, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
And it's like you're there for the experience, or else like we've been saying, like I'll just go listen to you in my car.
I feel like kind of maybe this goes with our conversation that we're having pre-pod of like people the loss of the art of communication, but I think along with that goes with like connecting. It's like I think people forget that it's like part of captivating is a room is connecting with the people that are in it. So like
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
not connecting,
That yeah.
then what are you doing? Like that's
Yeah.
that's such an important part of it. And I think with the karaoke, and maybe that's an ignorant way to refer to it, but whatever, that's what it is at that
I
point.
support it.
I think. Thank you. I think at that point it's like that's almost like a barrier for your audience can't
Yeah.
like connect to
Well,
you as well.
So when I did that first show that sold out like 600-700 people, there's this guy, DJ Knowledge, but he spells it with a K-N-A-W. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've ever heard of him, but
Yep.
he was the DJ of that show. And while we were doing sound check, he had known it was me and this one other kid's first time performing. That's a piece of advice he gave us was, when you're performing, look at the crowd, look for like cameras. look for cameras or people with their phone out. And even if it's just for a second, go up to that camera and point it out.
1000%.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you can move on. But people love that.
Mm-hmm.
So just try, like, connect with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, just that connection.
It's a
Right.
simple way to start, and then like as you continue,
Exactly.
like you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, let me find the next person. Like helps you like move around.
Yeah.
Like you can see people who are really like rocking with you. You're like, yo, forget the people that are not rocking with me, or just like for whatever, you know, whatever reason you're gonna have.
People get weird in social situations, which
But it's
I
like, yo,
respect,
let
I
me
get
hype
it.
up the people, you know, because if you're really into it, like, yo, let me hype up the people that are really rocking with this. Like
Yeah.
that could be a future listener, or you know, whatever, a fan, somebody
Right, that's
buys
how you get 'em.
merch, you know, whatever it may be, or they, you know, because I'm rocking with them, it might encourage somebody else to do it. Like, oh no, like they will like engage, or you know,
Right.
kind of like show up or whatever, you know, and so like it's way beneficial. I love
Crowds
doing
can
that.
be
I love
off
doing
too,
that
though,
stuff.
because I've definitely
Yeah.
experienced that of like when you're on stage and I'm like,
Oh, I
okay,
hate
this
that
money
with the
at this
passion.
money, this moment I know is funny. Not one person is laughing. You know what I mean? Or like or whatever.
Well, it's like that show.
Yeah.
She was like looking around. She's like, "Are we all watching the same show?"
Yeah, like
Because-
what is going on? But I think that was also a time when like that was like super post COVID, right? That
Yeah.
was pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
like
we were out.
people were just becoming people again, you know? Or like
Yeah, that
thawing out
was-
from
2022, I believe.
What? I
No,
don't
23. It was 23.
Oh, I
Because
don't know.
24, I didn't get
there
it.
was weird social
Like
interactions
this is
going
a
on.
piece of advice I could have for like any artist or like performer. I like a mindset thing. When I have those situations where it's like a dead crowd or whatever, or even a small crowd, you know, sometimes you show up and it's a small crowd. I treat those mentally like a live rehearsal, and that helps me to better just give the energy I always give. Because you know, like a lot of times the energy you give is built off the energy that the crowd's giving you.
Yeah.
And like that can dictate, you know, whether it's a lit show or like an emotional show, equally as powerful but different lanes.
Yeah.
And it's like the crowd can dictate that, but if it's just a dead crowd, like I just treat it like, all right, this is a live rehearsal.
Right. Like
Yeah.
every moment counts because like
Yeah.
there's
There's still on stage. It's an opportunity.
exactly.
Like
I
if I can crack a half smile out of you, like I got you.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
at
at
least
I know
one
it.
bar gets you to like, you know, smirk,
Right.
blow a little air out your nose, like
Right.
Because at that point, you're like, okay, I'll just take the focus in and be like, all right, what did I notice about this performance? What can I
Yeah.
concentrate? What can I try to like get better and or whatever? Like
Yeah,
you said.
what can I tweak? What can I do differently?
Right.
Or even be like, well, you know what? This crowd's already dead. I've been thinking about trying this thing. Let me just try it.
Right.
Right.
Nothing
See
to
how it fe-
lose.
Yeah, nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's
See how
yeah.
it feels.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good
point.
idea.
Yeah, try your new material.
Yeah.
Be surprised if you know if you could
like,
get
all
like
right,
at least a
class.
ha or a yo, like
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, if one person likes it, you know, maybe in
Yeah.
a bigger room, like maybe we get 5 or 10, you know, depending on the size of the room, like the percentage will go up. You know,
People
type
are
of
so
thing.
funny how they work.
Oh, for sure. But those are the crowds you gotta kind of just deal with and know that they're
hard,
gonna
though.
be there.
It's a true art.
You know, I think artists have to understand too, like you're gonna have those people in the crowd, so like you can't get discouraged if people aren't just like bopping their
Yeah,
head.
you
You
should
know,
keep going.
people. You know, you gotta.
Right, like
cut
that's
up
not a
with it.
personal thing to you. That's like central to them. Like
Yeah.
some
And
people
that's-
just aren't. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
All right. I cut you off. But anyway, like sometimes it doesn't happen until like the third, fourth song. You know what I mean? Like
True,
the
gotta warm 'em
first
up.
two
Gotta get
songs
them
are out the
going.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if like if you start well, and then you recognize that the crowd isn't really vibing with it, and you kind of keel off, like you could have lost that opportunity to catch them at that third song if you had kept the momentum going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta again kind of continue that. Like, oh, they're not rocking with it. Let me just keep going because it may not be this song. It may be song number 2 or song number 3 that they're like, oh, yo, that song's actually pretty fire, yo.
Yeah.
You know, beat.
Oh, I want to. All right, let me ask y'all this. So, this is something that has been going on lately in the New England music scene, and I want to know how you guys feel about it because I hate it, like passionately hate it.
Oh, I can't wait to.
Whether it's
Let's do it.
a show with a headliner or a showcase, I hate these promoters that keep doing like 4, 5, 6 intermissions throughout these shows.
Oh, is that a
kill
thing?
them
You lose
it's
people.
So annoying. You lose so many people at every intermission.
Oh, absolutely.
Who does
Yeah.
that?
So many promoters have
That's
been doing
wild.
it lately. It's been making me so mad. I left a show recently because they kept doing it. It was 11:45, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna take another intermission." I got up and left.
Wait, hold on. Is the intermission due to lack of preparation or like stuff on their end?
They usually call it a smoke break. Smoke break. All right, everybody go outside. Smoke
Oh,
break. No
come
one's
on,
coming back
dude.
in from that.
No.
No.
Maybe a couple people whose boys haven't performed yet.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
It's
wild.
been awful. It's
That's
been awful.
wild.
lately. I literally left
Yeah,
the
I
show
don't like
without
those.
performing because they kept doing intermissions, and I was like, I'm over this. I'm getting bored.
Yeah, because
There's
people
no
don't-
way everybody
You
else is
can't
getting
do
bored.
that.
Why are we like? It's a concert. Like that's the way I put it. I've never once in my life been at a concert like the New Kids.
Oh,
and
yeah.
been like, you know what I would love right now?
I'd love a song break. Yeah.
I'd love for them to stop singing these songs right now.
Yeah.
That I
For real.
paid for them to sing.
Like the only time that really happens like at a concert is like usually you'll have like what, like maybe 3 acts. Like I'll use like I went to, it was Ty Dolla $ign, not Lil Nas X, I forget. Uzi Vert, and then what's his name? We'll just say insert third act here or headliner act. And literally there was only intermissions in between the others, but that
To
was
set
probably
up
to
the
set up.
set.
Yeah,
To set the
exactly.
Yeah,
stage.
that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
what was the purpose? Is there a purpose?
No,
to
just so the promoter and the DJ can go outside and smoke.
No.
In my experience, but
That's a
Yeah.
wicked
No, no,
unprofessional,
no.
and
That's
I'm.
obnoxious.
they use it and say like, yeah, it's off. It's been off.
I would
I'm with you on
I'm glad
that.
I'm not the only one who hates it. 'cause
I'm
Oh,
on
no,
the
that's
bandwagon of
obnoxious.
hating that. I haven't experienced it personally, but I can tell you
Yeah.
right now, from my point of view, I would be like, okay, well, this to me, from like a consumer standpoint, this to me comes off as poor planning, and you clearly don't know how people work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're asking for them to leave. It's hard enough to engage a person for really more than 15 to 20 minutes anyways. So like, and now you're asking them to
leave.
disconnect from the event that you put on, go out. You like you said, they ain't
You could have
coming
lit
back.
you
because
could have lit
I-
a fire. Go ahead.
I
go ahead.
put on shows. I have my second annual Bear Fest. I did one last year, doing it again this year. Every time I put on a show, I have a strict schedule. I send it to all of the artists at least like a week in advance, and I'm like, this is when you're going on. If you're not here, we're moving on.
Perfect.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
As it should be.
The only gap is to say, all right, that was this guy. Let's give it up for him. Next up, we got
Yeah.
this guy. Well, come on up.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all it that's all it
how
should be.
go.
We don't
Yeah.
we don't have like stage sets. Like
Yeah,
we're not
That's
exactly.
exactly how it
Yeah.
should
We
go.
don't need it. So
Oh.
Cuz also for the
let's keep it rolling.
yeah, cuz for the consumer, like what is your intention of being there? To listen to music, not to have a smoke break.
And not for nothing, if you want a smoke break, you just go outside and have a smoke break.
Yeah.
Like you
need
don't.
a group
It
smoke.
doesn't need to be a communal thing. Like
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
miss a track, that's on you at that point because you
Right.
deemed the cigarette or joint or whatever more important. But like that's on you, bro.
100%.
Like
100%.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
from a
makes
consumer
me angry.
standpoint
Exactly.
That
and
is-
an artist standpoint. I'm like, dude,
that is
what?
unprofessional.
Move
I've
on.
been here for 5 hours. Can we get through the show? Because like
Thanks,
I'm
man.
also
That'd be
super
best.
tired of that. Because I've been on shows where there's like 18 people,
Yo.
Oh my
I
goodness.
saw-
and then there's intermissions, and I'm like, dude, what
For
are we
what?
waiting for?
Yeah, and then, like, five people come back.
I've started like checking how many people are on the show before I agree now because I caught myself in a few of those situations
learn
where I'm
the hard way.
like, damn, there's 20 artists here. All right.
Oh my
that's
god,
cool.
awful. I'd be
I've
Yeah,
literally
like
told
Bear,
some
like
yeah.
Bearfest last year and this year, like 7 acts total.
awesome.
Yeah, that's like
That-
yeah.
It's a festival. It's a
that's
music festival.
right.
It's a-
so you
yeah,
want
oh,
to
yeah.
more.
Great.
Yeah,
So you want
absolutely.
Right, and I think that's
Depending
a
on the
pretty
show.
decent number.
6 openers and then not openers, but then me, I headline.
Yeah.
I do a 45-minute set usually.
Yeah,
Oh, good
but
for
it's a
you.
festival. That's what
Yeah,
like the
exactly,
expectation is.
A lot of acts.
We're gonna have a lot of music.
And that's the thing.
And we're gonna
7
enjoy it.
is a lot of acts.
Yeah,
That's a lot of acts for one concert.
But is this a 978 thing or is this like a New England thing in general of like let's have like 72 acts on a bill? Like when did that start happening? Because like I feel like shows now cuz when I'm on Instagram, I see people's flyers. Like it seems like it's almost kind of normal to have like 10
But it's
to
showcases.
15.
I think it
It's
got
showcases.
more popular when like promoters started charging people to perform.
Oh, woof. We've talked about this.
Yeah. But
I get
go ahead.
it. I don't personally. I haven't paid to perform, but I get it from the promoter's standpoint. But
it's your job to get people in the
yeah,
door. That's why
for
you're a
my shows,
promoter.
I've never charged anyone to perform at my shows.
Yeah.
I think
Same.
that's
I think
crazy.
I asked you to be on my show because I think you could bring a certain amount of people that'll sell a certain amount of tickets.
Right.
It's all math. Every event I put on, I'm doing the math to figure out how much I need to charge per ticket to realistically make at least my money back.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And you gotta, again, be realistic with yourself. How many tickets do we think we can sell? All right, last year we sold about 75. We should be able to sell more this year.
Right.
So where they're cheaper. Tickets are cheaper this year.
Right. You know, so where do we fall? What can we do? What can we add? What can
That's
we take
actually
away?
perfect
You
because
know?
times is tougher this year financially,
Yeah.
so that works out.
It's wild. But yeah, I don't understand the whole like let's have 40,
Pay to play.
72
Oh,
or
yeah.
pay to play too. Play
yeah,
to play
no,
is
that
crazy.
too.
That I think that is awful. Like because there were from an acting standpoint, because they do that for shows too, like where you can like have to pay to be in a show. And honestly, at this point, and I'm not sorry if it sounds arrogant. I'm at the point where I'm like, dude, if I act for you for free, you're actually lucky because I should be getting paid for it. And I feel like from an artist standpoint for you folks too, it's like like, dude, you should. I'll perform for free, but you could be paying me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a little $50. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like whatever. Who cares the amount? I think artists are always expected to do their art for like the most minimal cost,
Yeah.
if any. And it's like it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But also
who's to say you're not gonna boot someone off a set? Like if they pay for their slot in advance, like sometimes it gets if there are a lot of people like on the bill,
Right, and then
sometimes it
people
gets
get
messy where,
screwed.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's happened
What
to
were
me
you gonna
before
say,
too.
Jerry?
happened to me last year.
Like two things was like one, like I've gotten like stopped. My set was within time and they like kicked me off and I was like, it was one of those like you pay to play type of, not like a full pay
No,
to play,
hell no.
like you had tickets to sell and stuff like that. It's like, dude, like I sold tickets.
Like
why are
there's-
you cutting me off early from my time?
Right. Oh,
Type
hell
of
no.
deal. And it's like too, I've also witnessed when it comes to that pay to play, it's like, yeah, okay, pay to play, but who's to say you're not the type of person that maybe has the cash to do it? I'll just buy, you could just buy the $200 worth of tickets and then you're in. I still don't bring a crowd, so what's the point?
Yeah, that's a yes.
So what's the point? Like, yeah, okay, I gave you my money so that I could play, but like I didn't bring a crowd in. So then what's the promoter's job? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, okay, you got this, you took this guy's money, but you still have nobody showing up to the show.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
would think that it would be on the
what's the point?
promoter as in the job title. You are
exactly.
you are supposed to promote the show. I would obviously it's like I would expect any artist on a bill to naturally be blasting that out there on social media or telling their friends
Right.
anyways, because obviously who do you want to perform for?
Right.
Nobody. So that I would feel like that naturally is something that the artist
Excuse
would
me.
do, but I feel like the sole responsibility should fall on the promoter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think too, like, I just thought of this, but if someone has to pay to play, that's probably not someone who has that big of a following. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I handpick all of my artists for all of my shows. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you, I like your music, I like your performances,
Right.
and I usually, I know you can bring a crowd. That's not the biggest part of it, but, like, I'm handpicking. So if I'm like, hey, I have a show, who wants to pay me $50 to get on it? Then I feel like
Woof.
it's like an open mic night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You almost feel like it's not
Or like,
that,
what's wrong with the show that you have to
Right.
charge people to bring them in? It's like, dude, you have Tech Nine that's headlining and you're having people pay to play. People will show up. Why do I need to pay?
yeah,
Right.
that's crazy.
To use that as an example, people are gonna show up. Like, you have these
Yeah.
like big name artists, and it's like, oh, pay to play to come in. Like, dude, people are gonna show
Like
up.
you're just greedy.
Yeah.
Like give people opportunities.
People will show up. People will buy tickets. Just direct them to the link or pay at the door.
Mm-hmm.
People will show up, especially for those bigger artists. Like, if it's a smaller thing, I don't know, whatever. But But then again, it's like if it's a smaller thing, usually you're invited, which means if you're inviting me, you know who I am. Like you said, you know who I am, you know my talent, et cetera, et cetera.
Probably have an idea of what your fan base is, and yeah.
Like you handpicked me. Why? Now I need to pay you to. It's like you said. Who wants to come? Who wants to pay?
Hey, you look like a great artist to pay me.
Yeah, literally.
You want an opportunity to pay me?
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, no, I don't like that. But yeah, going back to that intermission thing, that's wild.
Yeah.
Woof. On all accounts.
It's beyond wild. It's beyond wild.
I don't know how that's acceptable.
I don't either. Like, and it's such a it's not like a one promoter thing. Like, there's quite a few promoters that be doing it.
Oh hell no!
For that level show, I'd say it's the norm.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm here to listen to music, not.
Yeah. That level, that showcase level, local show level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Don't
much
get
the
me
norm
wrong.
now.
I respect a smoke break. I've taken many of them in my life.
But it's on.
But
it's on
that's
your
on
time.
you.
Yeah.
Like that is not. Yeah, you decide when you want to step away.
Yeah, it's not like the doors are locked like while people are performing. And then it's like, okay, let's unlock the doors.
Usually
so these
it's a
people
quick
can...
thing. You're like, and then you go right back in.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
Or now with vaping, you just go sneak and vape in the bathroom. Like there's no excuse.
Right.
There's no excuse.
And it's like it just seems like you don't care enough about the event to.
It,
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
all the time.
You're not putting your all in it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
you're just
giving
like half there,
poor
half not.
planning. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was trying to be young and it's not working. But yeah, that's to me that reads as poor planning.
Yeah. Yeah, just not. I mean, and just not like you said, not understanding people. Like.
Yeah, and how they work. Like, dude, you're lucky to engage them. Once you get them, you gotta keep them.
Yeah.
So like
all those smoke breaks, like I'm constantly in and out of like the music. Like
right,
you've got me
exactly.
roped in. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, another smoke break.
And not for nothing, if it's so important as a DJ or a promoter or whatever, then just have a 420 friendly venue.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
good point too.
Like if it is such an if that is going to be a make or break for you as the person that is curating the event, have a 420 friendly venue, which I know that there's few and far between, but still.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
dude.
smoke weed all day, every day. I use a vape. I'm addicted to the nicotine. I can go 4 hours. I
Right,
can go
like-
4 hours.
It's
Yeah.
not you're not going to die.
For real.
You'll be okay.
I'll
Actually,
smoke before I go in, and then I'll smoke in the car on my way home.
right, you
We're
plan
good.
it out exactly, you know.
Oh yeah, like Mansfield, at the Xfinity Center.
Mm-hmm.
I just stuck a couple pre-rolls in my pocket, walked in there. They don't really search it, and it's outside, so
Yeah. How
and
are they
it's
going to catch you?
Massachusetts, so it's legal,
Yeah.
so they don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Proper planning.
all it
Smokers,
is.
true smokers know that.
and I just think if those same promoters did those same shows and didn't have any smoke breaks or intermissions, like no one would be complaining.
Yeah.
No one's gonna complain.
It's
Hey,
not-
you didn't have any smoke break. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
There's no Karens at the door.
So
like,
what about me? Where's my 15 minutes?
Yeah, where's
Right?
my
Like-
I've been listening to music for like a half hour. I think I need a 15-minute.
It's enough
like you need a break so bad.
And
like,
so often.
join the
Yeah.
union. I
That's
don't
why
know.
you came. You came to listen to music.
Yes.
Not
I
to.
mean,
and dance and
Yeah.
drink if that's your thing or
Right.
whatever.
yeah, whatever you do. I just feel like I don't want to say the job isn't tough because obviously there's a lot of difficulties that go with anything like that. But it's like, dude, you know what you're signing up for.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 4-hour show, okay, let's say then maybe including setup, maybe 6 hours. What's a 6-hour shift? That's half a day. Like not even.
Yeah.
When I
Like,
was
that's-
working at FedEx doing 14-hour days.
Right. That's right there. Like that's nothing.
I would have to clock out because I was working for too long.
Mm.
Like, because you're driving and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
But, yeah.
What's your? I don't know if anyone else has experienced. I've experienced this. To go off like the just things that we dislike about shows, is say you're like performing in like a bar or whatever, or just like a more intimate setting type of deal where you know there's music that is playing and you've paid your ticket to come and watch said music. But the people that are there in the audience are not watching. They're having conversations by themselves.
Yeah.
That's a big pet peeve of mine.
Drives me crazy.
And there's like no way to complain about it. Because what are you gonna say?
It's
Yeah.
Well, I'm here. I paid.
I just think it's
But
etiquette, man. Etiquette, show etiquette.
That's what I love about like stand-up comedians. Because I'm a rapper, I can't just be like, "Yo, shut up!" But stand-up comedians will do that.
Oh, they'll call you out
Yeah.
in
They will.
the middle of the show.
They will. They'll be like, "Yo, can you see I'm talking here? I'm the one with the micro."
Right, like,
I love
hi,
watching them do it too.
people paid to come here. And not for nothing, respect the other people because
That
other
too.
people want to be able to listen to the show that they also paid to come to see. And then respect the artist, man. There's nothing more disrespectful than that. I think it's just no, bad manners.
Yeah,
Bad
it was.
manners.
I'm just like I remember at MOCG night. I went. It was during your set too, right before we did Hope, and I ran to the back of the bar because and there was like, I mean, there was some of like the people that had come like specifically for our show, and then there were people that were just there for the bar or whatever. So like, I went to the back and I was like, "Yo, like, how's the people in the back?" Like trying to just like engage the crowd a little bit, and she like ignored me, and I was like, "All right, forget it, screw you guys. I'm just gonna go to the people in the front and just like we'll talk with them. They're more engaged with us or whatever." And like I literally and all I said was like, "Hey, how are you? How are you today? Like, how's it going? What's up? Are you enjoying your time tonight?" And she was just like, like panicked, and I was like, I'm just asking you a simple
it's
question
you
because
know,
you're out, you're
right.
out in the nightlife. Like I can ask you like how's your night going? That is a reasonable question to ask. Or maybe they're stuck in our small talk situation and like, I just came to have a beer, not have a conversation with you.
Like, right. Like, don't. Some people do not like any
somewhere to be right
amount
here.
of attention on them at all. I've
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah.
Yeah, some people just don't like it at all.
But she
which-
like insta panicked, and I was like, okay, I'm moving on. I'm just
Like,
gonna go talk to the people.
forget
in the front.
about it.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
I also like I mean I did call out that one person that was sitting in the front because like her back was turned to me, and like there was a line in my song, and my memory is just horrible, but it had to do with like turning around or something like that, and I literally went like right up to her ear, like said the line, and she like turned around and was like oh like, and like got like back into the music, but I was like, dude, like you're literally front row and your back is to like people that are performing.
Because like, there are definitely people who would rather be front row, and you're front row, and you're just
Right, like you're taking up valuable space.
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
And that's I forget who it was. It's one of the old like white dude singers, like Billy Joel or something. I don't know if it was him, but they would keep the front row open. They wouldn't sell tickets to the front row of their concerts, and they would like have their like tour manager or whatever go find
Like handpick people. to come.
That were just
sitting
like
far back and like freaking out. And they'd be like, come down. Like big fans.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that's cool.
amazing.
That's
I
a
think
cool
that
thing.
that's a cool move.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good thing to have.
But that's why, like, I also wouldn't. I'm not at that point yet, but when I get to that point, I don't think I would want. Like, it's tough. It's a tough business call because, like, I don't think I would want my front row seats to be the most expensive ones. But at the same time, it's like they would go quick if that's cheaper. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like I don't want enjoying me to be a status symbol.
Yeah.
Or
Like yeah.
You don't want there to be barriers
like
for
I
people
love Taylor
to.
Swift,
yeah.
but like a Taylor Swift thing, like I'm at a Taylor Swift concert. Cool, everybody knows those were like $1,400 tickets. It's
Yeah.
headline news. Like
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Mhm.
Which obviously isn't Taylor Swift's fault. Don't worry, I love Taylor Swift, guys, whatever. But like I know that's
Whatever, I
people
don't.
buy the tickets and then resell them. I
Yeah.
get it. But yeah, I just feel like I don't want there to be like a price point to be able to enjoy
Yeah.
me. Like Lil Wayne said. Lil Wayne was just talking about this. Someone was asking like, like, yeah, like I like I used to pirate your music all the time on LimeWire and all that. He's like, nah,
Same.
like I go as long as you're listening. I'm happy you're listening. I'm not mad you was
Right.
pirating my music because I'm happy you were able to listen to it.
Right.
And that's how I feel. I don't want anyone to ever be like, oh, I'd love to listen to Haiden, but I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro,
yeah.
I came from the dirt. Like I
Yeah.
know what that's like, so I would never like nah.
Yeah.
And usually those are like your bigger fans too. It's like, oh, like just like it's almost like the pay to play thing. It's like, oh, just because you have a budget, the budget to do it, like, oh, I could sit in the front row or I can perform. It's like, yeah, that could be like another big fan too because they paid all that money and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I will throw down $1,400 to go
For
sit in
real.
the front seat in the front row. But like at the same time, like you said, it's like some of those bigger fans could be in the last row that you're like, yo, like I really want them to enjoy it as much, or at least have the opportunity to, you know, get closer and enjoy it in the same way. So it's like, I get what you're saying.
Like I forget what that saying is, but like, you know, it's such a split thing. It's like,
right.
There's pros and cons to both sides of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like, oh yeah, okay, I sell them all the same price, and then people can kind of just go and stand wherever they want. You know, like you could do it multiple ways. Like people could go stand where they want. Okay, well now you have
serve, like GA.
The thrill of general admission.
You know, and then you got
I miss those days.
I
love
like
that.
The House of Blues and stuff.
Yes. I think that is an experience that everyone should have. Going to the concert 7+ hours early to get your ass in that line, and you wait and you make community with every other crazy person that's there as early as you. And you
guys ever heard of Mike Stud?
Yeah.
He just goes by Mike now, but I did that for his concerts.
Yeah.
Showed up early so I could get to the front.
Yeah.
All that. That's my guy.
Oh my god.
But if you're smart for a performer, like for the performer too, like as we're having this conversation, I'm just like thinking random things, but it's like you could even tailor that too. Like, okay, like the people are waiting out line, like maybe make it beneficial for them. Like maybe like pop out for a little bit, say what's up, like, hey, what's up, you know, appreciate you guys, or like
buy him a pizza.
You know, if you got the money, you know, if you got the budget for it, or whatever, as the artist, meaning like, hey, like buy, you know, people that are waiting like, you know, 7+ hours.
Waters.
Yo, here's a free T-shirt, or a wristlet or something, you know, something that's like, yo, like I'm dedicated, you know, I'm dedicated to watching life, like type of thing. And it's like, you know, it's like, oh, okay, this guy like appreciates the fact that I spent 7 hours sitting out here, you know, waiting for the show.
Because time is precious, and like if you think about it, if you have someone's attention and they're giving you their time, like that's a huge thing. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Because people love that stuff. Like I've seen like, you know, TikToks of like artists, they'll be just walking, and then like the people, you know, they'll see people like waiting in line to like go buy a ticket, and then they'll pop up right behind them. And then they're like, oh my gosh, like they freak out and they have this, and then they're like, oh, hey, what's up? And like, you know, you do your pictures, you do autographs, whatever, but it's like people love that stuff, you know, and if you actually can take the time to do that, like it means so much more to the fan. Yeah. You know, in the end. And granted, like we've been saying, like there are like those caveats of like, just like, you know, you kind of invite one in, and then like all of a sudden now you have a massive crowd, now you can't get out, and then you know, now you're signing 500 autographs instead of the 2 that you
great problem to have.
Of course, you know,
great problem.
But you're like, I just wanted to say hello really quick and, you know, get ready for the show or something. But
I just signed my first autographs at Exit Fame's.
That's so cool.
Word.
2 of them. Two people came up after my performance and asked for I have a song that's not out yet called Hey Nikki. I had a sweatshirt made for it. I like threw that out in the crowd, so that guy who caught it had me sign it, and then some other guy just had me sign his hat.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I feel like, Mom, I made it.
My mom was there. My mom was watching.
Hey, let's go.
That's so
and my
cool.
dad, actually, they were both there. It was in Salty. So.
That's hometown. That's awesome.
That's dope. I did my first one was actually at a show that I did not expect to do it at. So we ended up our group called Minds of One Collective Genius. We got this show that was like up in New Hampshire, and we were the only hip hop acts that were there, and we got like it was a festival,
Chesterfest,
and Chesterfest, and we had like a 20-minute, 30-minute set between. I think we had 5 people that were there.
Yeah,
five of us, you know, within the collective that were there. So like we kind of divided it up. And we're like, hey, it's a great opportunity. We don't got to pay, whatever. It's cool. Rest of the people were like rock bands. Like dudes with like giant gauged earrings and you know, bikers jackets on, and we were just like, okay, here we go. Like, let's cool. And like, first of all, like that experience was crazy because like when we came on, like people were like rocking with it, like, and we were like, okay, this isn't that bad. Like, you know, and like the dude that had like the giant earrings was like, yo, like I love hip hop, like it's so cool. And we were like, not what we would expect. But we had like these kids like came up to us after and were like, oh, you guys are awesome, like, yo, like can we, like, was going around to all of us and we're just like, hey, like, can we get you guys autographs? And we were like, yo, what is this really happening right now? This is so cool. It was such like a humbling experience. We were like, you know, I was like, thank you, like, yo, I gave him some like free stuff. I was like, yo, like I really appreciate this, like here,
and, like that was like right after MOCG Fest too.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
We performed at the other place and then we went to Chess Fest.
That's right.
I mean, I didn't perform, but like, you know, like you performed, Kemet performed.
That was a different one. That was the year after because they went to a different spot. This one was like at some dude's house that had like 40 acres of land that he could.
That sounds cool.
I didn't get there, but
Yeah, he had like this crazy property. Like you pull in and like it was just like like the first half was like the stage, and then there was like you go another like 100 yards, and then there's like cornhole and like the barbecue pit and like and then like another like 100 yards is like the parking for everything, and we're just like, dude, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he had like crazy space, and like he just threw this whole Chesterfest event on. But it was cool. It was just like a cool, like humbling, like dope experience to have, and just be like, okay, this is cool. I can do it. I like this. This is,
all those days of practicing your autograph.
right.
Oh my God, I've been doing it since I was. I still do. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's since I was a kid, and I'll never stop.
Yeah, right. And you just did Goldfest too, right? Did I see that?
I did.
Did I see that? How was that? Oh, right in Boston.
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't have my own set. I performed with Exit Fame.
Oh, okay.
We did If I Die. No, that was really fun. They had us in the Boston Commons. There's like City Hall Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had us like in the atrium of City Hall
Mm.
for the artist area.
That's cool.
I thought that was so cool because like I'm from Boston, and like I used to like deliver when I worked for FedEx. I delivered in downtown and delivered there a couple of times, and know how tight they are with security and everything over there. Like even as a delivery driver. So I'm like, they're just letting us chill up here and smoke weed and City Hall. Like,
right.
Okay, cool. All right, that's what it is.
Yeah, the
But
rooms
it
that
was a really
were
fun experience.
That's so cool.
I don't know if Leeds did it. Does Leeds put that show on? Or did they? I don't know. He was there. Ned from Leeds was there.
Yeah.
I've known
I
him
know
since
Ned.
I started.
Yeah.
When I was 14, so that was cool to see him there.
Yeah. I've done a couple shows for Ned. I did Mr. L.Y.F.E. He did like
he's
that.
really great for the local culture. I love him.
For sure, 100%. Shout out to Ned and Leeds. Appreciate that. All the opportunities. No, that was I peeped that. I was like, that's cool because I work with like Mertz, who works with like Still Gold and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could have made it out, but just timing and everything. But I was like, that's cool to like have that stuff for like the city of Boston and stuff too. And then to be in like, like you said, like rooms that were like hard to get in at the time, and now you're like, yo, I'm here.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
I don't gotta, there's no.
Yeah, they had food for us, like sandwiches and stuff back there.
Just living the
Ping pong
dream.
tables set up.
That's so cool. Like
That's
your little
cool.
green room
Yeah,
situation.
it was
That's cool.
All right. So I have a question, and I want to preface this with like, I want to hear perspective, and it's not of like right, wrong, here to debate type of thing. Like I was just listening to the music and stuff. So you have a song called Talk with the Reverend.
Yeah, that's the newest song.
I was listening to that today.
And obviously
It's
like,
dope, by the way.
so like to give like some pretext, like I am Christian.
I'm Catholic.
Okay. So obviously they're saying, that I believe in it, what, and we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Like what can like explain like the concept behind it? I guess you could say, because
it's completely ironic.
Okay.
That whole chorus of, well, I'll say it for those who haven't heard it. When I die, don't tell my kids I'm in heaven because I've decided against it after a talk with a reverend. He said you'll wake up every day in paradise with your brethren. I said my friends are in hell and that's the direction I'm headed. So then the whole verse goes into like what it is like, I think I'm a good person. I really do that. I believe in God. I love God, trust God. He's,
Amen.
The Most High. And so I like to believe I have a spot in heaven. But the whole idea of that is like, what I talk about through the verse is like, the life I've lived or been forced to live because of the circumstances I grew up in. I've had to do things that people will tell you, like for the tattoos, for example. Oh, you have tattoos, you're going to hell. If you drink alcohol, you smoke weed, you're going to hell. So the song was kind of my way of saying like, hey, I'm a good person at heart, but if I do all these things and that means I'm going to hell, then I guess I'm going to hell. Like, so it's like an ironic thing. Like,
I get what you're saying.
I got you.
Like flipping it.
Yeah. No, I was just
of what I really believe.
Yeah. No, I get you. No, I was just curious. Again, it wasn't
Yeah,
like
no, I
it,
definitely get you. Yeah.
yeah, like if you weren't like, Catholic or a believer or whatever, I wasn't going to be like, no, well, you need to repent. Like,
Yeah,
you need to like
yeah.
accept God and like, oh, like turn from your sin. Like, no,
Yeah.
like it wasn't that. Like, it was just like, to hear that kind of just perspective. And, because obviously, like, me being a Christian artist, like, you hear stuff like that and you're just like, just curious to hear like
oh, I
people's.
wonder, yeah.
And that's what
The
I like.
mindset.
That's what I wanted to do with that song is get people thinking of like, well, what does it mean to go to heaven and hell? Because I mean, this is a weird place to go down right now, but I'll make it quick.
You're good.
My firm belief of what happens when you die is not pearly gates, kingdom up in the clouds, heaven, and fiery pits of hell. I think it's more of a dream state of that same state of consciousness of when you're dreaming, but you're conscious, and that those things that you did in life, you have to live with your consciousness for eternity. No outside senses, just your consciousness. And so if you get to the end of your life and you die and move on to heaven with God, in God's presence, is living with, being able to live with that, things you've done in life. Because
I get what you're saying.
you have to live with that, your consciousness for eternity. So
Right.
you get to the end, whether all these, terrible people that do all this stuff for all this money, okay, well, now you're dead. Now you have no money, you have no houses, no cars, no anything, no material possessions, no body even.
Right.
How do you feel now about the things that you did and the way you treated people?
That's interesting.
It's a cool way to put it.
And that's how you
Or-
get
or perspective, I
to
should
that,
say, not-
to that place of heaven with God. Because, I think that's how they say it in the Bible is like, that, if you choose to live your life with God on earth, you get to spend eternity with him in heaven.
Yeah.
And if you choose to live your life away from God, then he allows you to
You'll
live
spend eternity away from him. Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much, paraphrasing, but yeah, that's how it, how it goes. Scripturally, I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I mean, that's good. Like, cause I'm at the point too, like with just everything and then just recent experiences of gaining understanding and gaining perspective. Because sometimes like a lot of people will, even myself in the past, of just like, you hear something or you see something and you're like, all right, I immediately have my perception of that and that's the truth, which is not always the case.
That's
Right,
dangerous.
And that's why, like, I encourage other people, and again, just recent circumstances, like, ask people, ask these questions, talk about the music, like, what were you really saying?
Yeah.
In these things, because like you could completely misread the
Flip
situation,
it, yeah.
misread the situation, which is how we're having this conversation right now. Like my music, his music, whatever. Like we could say a bar, a line, whatever, and you're like, whoa, like that's so like off-putting. But unless you get the context of it, which is it's kind of a catch-22. It's hard because it's like you can only say so much within the structure of your song or whatever. However you do it, but it's like.
Catch-22, that's the saying I was looking for earlier.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, that's part of the creativity of writing and stuff like that. It's like you look at poetry, like you have to either talk to the artist or talk to somebody who understood that writing at that time for them to kind of break it down for you what that means. Same thing with scripture. It's like, yeah, it says something, but it's not always necessarily what it's saying. It could be a metaphor. It could be, just an example or whatever. So it's like you got to like learn to understand what is being said. And that's by asking questions or like matching things up, whatever. So it's like important to, especially for artists and the listener, to like ask those questions. That's why like I love when people come up and they're like, they're not just saying, hey, like, I like that song, but like, what were you talking about in that song? Or like pinpointing like specific parts of that song and being like, oh, like that part really touched me with that song. It's like, okay, one, you're paying attention and you're like diving into more than just like, oh, it was a cool beat and great song. It was cool. It's like, oh no, you're investing in this with me type of thing. So it's like, yeah. So I was just curious, And again, just trying to gain perspective, listen to a lot of the music coming up. What do I have? Yeah, it was kind of where I kind of left things off among the other things that I had. Is there anything that you have coming up that you want to share with the people? You got like shows or merch, whatever announcements.
Second annual Bear Fest 24 is November 2nd, Saturday, November 2nd on Revere Beach at Sammy's Patio.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That's the second annual. We got a lot of dope artists on there. I'm not going to forget all of them, but and then I've got my album. So Talk with a Reverend is the first single off that album. We don't have a solid release date yet. I'm not gonna lie because I'm very indecisive. But the whole album's
That's
done.
fair.
Every song is done. We have them all. My favorite song is Hey Nikki, so look forward to that one because that one's really good.
Cool.
That one is another one where it's like a metaphor because like the whole song is Hey Nikki. It sounds like a love song. It's not about a girl at all. It's about my battles with like anxiety and the like medications that I've been prescribed. But like that's the hook is like, hey Nikki, I'm wondering if you want to take a trip to space with me. No, we started off rough, so you're hating me, but I think you could be the one that ended up saving me. Is like because when I was first prescribed medications for like my stuff, I was taking them and then I stopped taking them because I was like, whatever, it's not working. And I was like, the doctor's like, no, you gotta keep taking them. And I keep taking them, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. And so it's like, yeah, we started off rough because I couldn't get it, but like now I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna stay with it and keep it going. And so like the whole song is like a whole metaphor, and it's crazy. But if you listen to it off face value, it sounds like a love song about a girl named Nikki.
Yeah, I love songs like that though.
Me too.
I love stuff that like it like makes you think for a second. You're like, wait, is this a love song or is there more way behind it than is what is perceived? And I love stuff like that because then. I listen or I'll listen to an interview or whatever, and the artist is like, no, like you said, like I was talking about something completely different. I'm like, oh, now I get, okay, that's cool.
And that's the beauty of music is like the beauty is it in the eye of the beholder, really. Like I made that song about my anxiety and that stuff. Someone could listen to this and be thinking about a girl, and it hits them that way.
Right.
It applies to that. Or they could
True.
be listening to anything, and it could hit them any way.
Yeah.
Like Talk with a Reverend, that could be, interpreted many different ways. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of ways that one could be interpreted. So, yeah,
that's true.
That's really like I like the beauty of music is like I meant one thing, but however you experience it,
it's gonna be different.
That's
right. That's the power. Yeah, that's the power of music for sure. Well, I want to thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate this.
Absolutely.
It was so nice to have you
dope
here.
conversation.
Great conversation.
Here,
I want to say thank you to everybody that has been tuning in, listening, checking this out. I want to say God bless everybody. Shout out to Krispy, who's not here, part of the team. Appreciate you, man. Miss you for sure. I want to say, just thank you to everybody. Appreciate everything that everybody's been doing for this podcast. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith. We got
L.Y.F.E.
It's your girl, Kayla.
And we got
Haiden LeBlanc.
And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
That was great.
That might have been the first time.